everyone, it's Lani from Full of Joy Yoga, and it's Free Your Mind Friday. And I decided to do a Facebook Live for Free Your Mind Friday today. I'm going to talk about goal setting today because I haven't done any yet for the new year, and it is January 3rd. And I usually set my goals for my business back in December. I usually do a web and like a mind mapping exercise and think of all the things for my business and all my goals that I want to achieve with them. But I thought and I haven't done it. It's kind of weird that I haven't done it. I don't know. I just haven't been in that headspace. So I am not teaching today. So today seemed like a perfect day to actually sit and do it and plan my short-term goals and my long-term goals. And I started reading a little bit about goal setting, and I've taught a Business of Kids Yoga course where we talk about SMART goals. So if you're somebody who has never set goals, maybe you do resolutions. I don't do resolutions. I usually like to set myself up with some goals for the year. And I usually just do my business, but sometimes I do personal. But if we're going to talk goal setting, maybe think outside the box where you can bring in other areas of your life. So setting goals for, health goals, financial goals, family goals, like travel goals, definitely work, business goals. If you own your own business, that's something really important to do every year. Relationship goals. So for example, actually last year I made it a goal to make sure to see every single doctor that I haven't seen in years. And I did. I went to every single doctor and I took care of all of that. And that was an awesome personal goal for myself that I did with my health. And I also go work out at my gym, Tough Girl, 3 times a week. And I've been doing that for years, and it's made such an impact on my life when I first made that a goal in my life. And now it's just part of my regular routine. And honestly, these last 2 weeks of vacation, I haven't gone because it's just been really challenging to get there with Zephyr home, and my car is actually in the shop. So I haven't gone. But I did start another Yoga with Adrienne 30-day journey. That's I actually posted about it yesterday. So if you have questions, so that's another goal of mine, is to do that every January, and I do, and then continue it my own home yoga practice for the rest of the year. And last year I kind of fell off mid-year, and that's okay. And I don't beat myself up for it. So. All right, let's get back to SMART goals. So you guys should come up with your own SMART goals. So SMART goals stands for a specific goal, has to be measurable, has to be attainable, it has to be realistic, and then you always have to set a time frame. So what I'm going to do for myself today, I'm going to make my, actually I'm right here. I started with my pad, my paper, oh God, and my cat, and I put my 2 businesses, Full Joy Yoga and Mindful Yoga Breaks, in the middle. I'm going to make my little web, and this year I'm going to do it, I'm going to make myself yearly goals, monthly goals, 6-month goals, so that they are measurable and attainable. And you always put a time of when you want to accomplish something by. And that helps you to achieve them, so you feel more successful. Or if you're somebody who likes to make lists and then cross things off your list, I'm always working on how to stay more productive and organized. When you own your own business, you kind of need to be able to do that. So I've learned lots of different tools that I do, and tips and tricks that I've used throughout the year, or all of these years of 15 years in business. And sometimes I'm better at it than others. And sometimes I fall off, and that's okay. And then I just get back on it and notice that when I'm actually sticking to these tips, like using SMART goals and setting my timer for really focusing, it's called Pomodoro. So when I'm sitting home and I want to accomplish something, you just set a timer for 45 minutes, you focus on that one task, and then you take your break, and then you do it again. And I find I'm much more productive that way. So I'm going to add all of those things into my goals. So not only what do I want to achieve with Full of Joy Yoga and Mindful Yoga Breaks, but how I'm going to get there, how I'm going to stay productive, and try to work on these every month and just keep coming back to it. One last thing I wanted to show you that I love that my son Zephyr had to do this for school. So he hasn't written his yet, but they have to do their goals too. So he has to write 2 goals for 2020. He has to put something I want to stop doing in 2020. I love that. Something I want to get rid of in the world. And 2 new books I want to read. So, your goals can have to do with all different areas of your life, and it's kind of nice to just sit and really think about it, write it in a journal, put it up on a big piece of paper like what I'm going to do, so it's right in front of me. So that's my Free Your Mind Friday today. It's just about goal setting and how that's what I'm doing. And as soon as I finish, I'll take a picture of what I came up with for my businesses, and maybe not for my personal, maybe I'll share those too. And I'd love for you to share any tips or tools you have with setting goals for yourself for the new year. For me, also as a teacher, I feel like the summer is also a reset where I like to then come up with new goals for like the fall. So I like to do it seasonally too. So, the new year is also a big reset time, but when you're a teacher, it feels like summer is your rest, and then, September through June, you're like on full speed ahead. Luckily, we all get this like awesome December break that's much needed. So I do feel a little reset and recharged for a really busy month ahead. And join me in this setting of goals. And thank you so much for joining me. Before we go, just bring your hands to your knees. Either close your eyes or look down in your lap. We're going to take a big, deep breath in through our nose and a really long, deep exhale out of your mouth. One last thing, I also love to come up with a word for the year. And my word, and I know like an intention is something that you are working on for yourself to be more present, or what. My word for the year is going to be intention. So everything I do this year, I'm going to have an intention behind it. Sometimes I've had the word self-care. I mean, there's so many things that you can do as your word for the year. But mine is going to actually be to move through this year with intention, say no when needed, and take care of myself in that way. And make sure that everything I'm doing has purpose and makes me feel good. Because then what else is the point, right? All right, hands on your knees. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And let it out with a big sigh. Feel your shoulders relax. Let's do it one more time. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose, nice and slow. And let it out with a big, long sigh. And gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you back here next Friday. See ya.